everyone, and welcome to today's video on Google Nano Banana Pro. Now this is a brand new AI image model from Google, and let me tell you, all of these things that you're seeing on the left hand side here are all generated with this brand new AI image model. So I'm going to teach you all of the best tips and tricks and a brand new workflow that I've discovered that allows you to create the highest level of consistency between your AI images, and it involves uploading 6 pages of documents and instructions to Google Nano Banana Pro. You're not going to want to miss this one. It's incredible. First things first, you can see a couple of my generations here with Google Nano Banana Pro. Now, where is best to access this model right now? I'm going to show you. I'm personally using it on Higgsfield. Reason being is because they've got unlimited 4K Nano Banana Pro generations right now on their website. And they've also got a bunch of discounted plans with the Black Friday sale right now at 65% off on both monthly and annual. So that is where I'm recommending for people to go and try it out and explore right now, primarily for the unlimited access that you get. I'll leave a link to it in the description as well, so you can go ahead and check that out as we go through this. So let's dive into some of the strengths of the model here. First of all, let's take a look at this right here. So you can see here for this one, the text is absolutely flawless. And if we kind of skim through the text here, you can see that it's actually generated all of this literally perfectly. Now, what's interesting about this as well is we can download our images, and let's say we wanted to make any changes to this poster. Well, I could simply upload that, and I could say replace the text in the paragraph to be Poppins bold and make it fit in the text box. Okay, so we can actually adjust the font in any style of graphic that we create as well. They have so many different fonts that are trained within this model. One of the best things about this new AI image model as well is that we can actually generate images in not only 1K, which we used to be able to get with Google Nano Banana, the original model, but we can now generate images in 2K and 4K. Now, I do want to mention, I believe that the most recommended is to use 2K. And you can see here, it has now made those adjustments inside here. It has added in a drop shadow, but it has replaced the text font to be Poppins bold. So that's really, really awesome. We could just prompt it to say no drop shadow and we'd get a better result, but we're just going to move on for the sake of this video. So you'll see here as well, obviously, as I mentioned, you can generate in 2K or 4K. I'm recommending that you generate in 2K right now just because it's the quickest. It generates very, very fast, and 4K, you basically have to generate it in 2K and then it upscales on the back end to 4K. So I'm recommending 2K at the moment just for speed purposes. And you can see just how solid this is, right? With a single reference image of my face, we can actually create incredible graphics with really high quality text on it. And you already know that that means that we can generate some incredible product shots as well. When it comes to creating cool graphics, this was inspired by a poster that I saw on Pinterest. You can create some really, really awesome things. So I'm just going to scroll through so you can kind of have a look. Again, these are all Pinterest, heavily Pinterest inspired images, which were just prompted out. I'll show you what the prompts were for these. It's these like crazy prompts that look like this, okay? Honestly, not too detailed, but it generates pretty incredible results, right? To picture that it's already like adding in PNG images of, Billie Eilish here is kind of crazy. Same here, right? With this halftone pattern design, just incredible. Like all of this and like the film grain, it's just beautiful. It's absolutely flawless, straight out of the platform. And you can see here as well, like, look how good these are. Now, it generates celebrities incredibly well. You don't even need to provide a reference image of what they look like. You can simply write in their name because it has so much training data on what they look like. So it will pull from that and it will actually create these images for you. So for these images of Steve Jobs here, all I had to do was upload a reference image of the latest iPhone, and with a basic prompt, you'll see here, it's just Steve Jobs holding the iPhone to his ear. we're able to create incredibly high resolution, crisp quality results. And you can see the fidelity on the actual product here is just phenomenal too. So really, really solid results. Now, I have actually been playing around with this quite a lot, and I found some really interesting workflows that I want to share with you that I don't think anybody else has found yet. Now, a lot of the time, if you have a net of a specific product with all of this text on it, you can actually upload this now into Google Nano Banana. And you can write in a prompt saying, create an image of this packaging with flawless text integration, and add this box on the edge of a sink or a faucet in a bathroom. Professional photography style image. Let's have a look. Now, obviously in the past as well, if you had a client who had potentially a very sensitive product, like a pharmaceutical client, it was always really difficult to get the exact text, integrated with Google Nano Banana. But now with this new model, it's actually pretty easy. So we can upload a reference image of our product, and we can say, place this box of Advil on a, first of all, you can see that this is already loaded in here, and we're going to take a look at these results shortly. Here's another one right here. Place this box of Advil on a, let's say a kitchen countertop, and have a older lady stood behind, smiling, looking down at the box of Advil. Okay, so if we're trying to create some, concepts, or even just create some imagery for brands, you can see here that we've now got all of the text literally flawlessly integrated in here. And we don't necessarily need the net, which we were using, because first of all, we've got two different products here in different kind of aspect ratios. One is vertical and the other one is horizontal. But what's interesting here as well is that the text is almost perfect down the side here, but it isn't quite exactly right. But it's a darn sight better than what we had before. And here we go, right? You can see here that we've got this product now integrated into the scene. It says ibuprofen tablets, 200 milligrams, pain reliever, favor reducer. So it's not even fever reducer, it's favor reducer in this example. And in this one, it's again kind of screwing up on that. So the way that you can get around this is by generating a closer up image of the product. So you could generate a close up image of the box of Advil on a kitchen countertop, professional photography. And then we could also try one that's more of like a natural UGC iPhone style photography. So we can kind of compare the two here. And then, if you wanted to get crazy with it, you could literally create graphical posters with these. You can upload a reference image of this, and you can say, explain the possible health implications by taking this drug through a graphical poster. Right? So we can just provide the model with a bit of context, and we can just say, ask it to create a simple graphic poster for us and kind of ask it to break it down. And it's actually going to go away and do that for us too. So let's generate a couple of different aspect ratios here. And you can see the product starting to come in now, right? And you can see we've got flawless text integration here, where we've got pain reliever, fever reducer, whereas over here, you can see it's struggling a lot more. Reason being is because the product is so far away, so it's only got very small pixels to work with. But when you generate more close-up shots, you get a lot better results. So that's done a really, really nice job. And you can see here, it has now generated a graphic poster for us. I mean, my mind is blown. Like, this is bonkers, right? So benefits: pain relief, muscle ache, fever reduction, inflammation reduction, consult doctor, follow dosage. Look how, literally flawless the text is. And if we wanted to edit this, let's see what we could do, right? So if we download this, and you can see some of the other examples here. It's unbelievable, right? It is unbelievable. You can offer this as a service to clients left, right, and center. This takes no time at all to create now, literally in a few sentences. So we can upload this back in here, and we can ask it to make some changes. So we could say, change the color design to match my logo, right? And then we can upload a reference image of my logo for our creative AI education company, GenHQ. So we can upload that in here. Make the image match my brand style. Okay. Now, what's also interesting about this is that not only can you upload a reference image of your specific brand, logo, for example, for it to try and replicate it a little bit more, but what you can also do is you could take a screenshot of a list of instructions, like a brand guideline, for example, and upload that as an image reference into Google Nano Banana 2 Pro, and we can do that together right now. So let's go to ChatGPT, right? And let's start a new chat here and say, write me a brand guideline for this logo here. So let's upload my logo for our creative AI education company, GenHQ logo. So here is our brand guideline, right? We can copy all of this, and it's even got hex codes and things like that. So we can copy all of this and we can bring this into a Google Doc. Okay, so I probably believe that this is going to take a couple of screenshots for us to get this all in. But if I zoom out like so, yeah, we can take a few screenshots. So let's do it like this. Screenshot number 1, and we can download that one. And we're just going to screenshot each page. So you can see here already, it's pulled from visual references from our logo and applied the same coloring and design into this so that it's now given us a much nicer kind of poster that is in our brand style. But if we were to upload those reference images of all of our brand identity, we could upload that in here, and we could also upload the reference image of this poster, and let's upload that in here. And also let's keep the same aspect ratio, and we can just say change the design of this poster to match the brand identity outlined, right? And let's just see what happens. Holy moly. It has changed the integrity of the actual product, but it's created graphics for us. This is pretty good. Look at it. This is just mind-blowing. It's got the perfect gradients for all of the icons and even the text up here, right? And in this one, it's even added in the logo. This is just insane. And the scary part is for this too, is we didn't even give it reference of our logo. We didn't even provide it with any image reference of what our logo looked like. We just told it to change it to match the brand identity. And it's already pulled from the internet and found our logo. So this is genuinely mind-blowing. Now, I want to take this one step further because I do think we're on the edge of something very interesting. I wonder whether or not you could build up a profile for an artistic style or design, and then you can upload these as references inside of Google Nano Banana Pro as well, and then you could create imagery in perfect styles that's consistent over time as well. Now, obviously, we could just upload one reference image of a certain style, but I feel like we'd be able to get a lot more detailed if we were to create a full document that unlocked a certain visual style, and we could kind of create in that too. That would kind of be the whole kind of arc. So let's test it out. Okay, so now we can go back to ChatGPT here, and I found this image online. Now take a look at this. This is a halftone pattern style image. So I'm going to upload that. Write an entire brief for a brand identity around this halftone pattern style design. Get as detailed as you can so that if we were to give this information to someone else, they'd be able to accurately recreate this halftone pattern style for every image they create. So now what it's going to do is it's going to go away and again build out another visual profile for us. So once this is all loaded in, we can just copy this back into a Google Doc and repeat the process. So back in here, we can remove all of these from our text prompts, right? And I can now upload the entire brand guidelines that we've now created for this half-tone pattern style design. So now I'm going to write in a prompt and I'm going to say, based off of the creative brief, create an image that represents the iPhone 17 in a graphic poster style. Let's just see if it will now automatically go directly to the halftone pattern. Hopefully it reads and understands. I'm also going to upload a reference image of the iPhone as well, just so that it has context of it too, just in case. Because we can upload up to 8 reference images inside of Nano Banana now. So let's see. I'm really hoping we get the halftone pattern style. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a brand new way that you can now create artistic imagery directly in your client's brand style. You can literally just upload the client brief directly into Google Nano Banana Pro with a reference image of the product, and it will create it for you. I mean, this one is just horrific, but these, wow. I mean, it is it's adhered to the brief specifically. So we're on to something here, guys. You can really use this you could create your own custom GPT with this information so that it would naturally prompt it for you anyway. But it looks to me as though it's got a really solid understanding of text inside of these briefs. So you don't have to create we could create anything we wanted with just this locked in here. I could just say a graphic poster of Harry Potter standing with a side profile with his back against the edge of the poster with his wand raised to his chin. Text on the poster says, "Ink bleeds in magic." I don't know, I'm making it up at this point. Let's just see what happens. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We now have a specific style reference, very similar to Midjourney, now embedded inside of Google Nano Banana Pro. This is a great tip, by the way. If you're looking to create an advert, right? Let's say we wanted to create an advert for Red Bull. What I did was I took this image, which is obviously the style that they use for their adverts, and I uploaded that as a reference photo and said, make a 6-shot sketch style storyboard for a Red Bull advert in the style of the reference image, showing a commercial for Red Bull. Each shot should be in 16:9 aspect ratio, and it did actually give us 8 images here, but I'm not complaining. Honestly, this looks really, really nice. Now, what I did with this, I thought, okay, this is cool, but what if I wanted to visualize this in a different style? Well, we can upload that image back into Higgsfield here, and with a basic prompt like change this to a Pixar animated style, we can actually literally recreate this entire scene flawlessly. Take a look at these frames, and now take a look at these, right? So we can adjust the artistic style of this. Now let's say I really liked this top left frame here, and I wanted to generate multiple camera angles of this frame so that I could see what that might look like. Well, what we can do is we can actually do that directly with Nano Banana 2 as well. So I'm going to show you the prompt that I used to make this because it's a very simple workflow. So I re-uploaded this back into Google Nano Banana, which is our Pixar style animation here. With our storyboard, and I said, take the first scene from the storyboard and generate a shot list of 8 shots from this scene. Keep it in the Pixar theme. Now, it's taken our shot, the original shot here, generated a close-up, even more close-up, a close-up image of the product down here. It's got an over-the-shoulder shot of her looking at the product and a couple of varying shots, her holding the product here, her grabbing the product off the floor. And then where it gets really interesting, let's say you found one of these shots that you liked the most. Let's say it was this one down here and you wanted to generate a higher upscaled image of this exact scene. Well, what we could do is we could either simply download this image. And you could go into the draw section here in Higgsfield, and we could go into the draw section in Higgsfield, and we can upload this as media. Now, once you upload this, it will give you a few options that you can choose from, but all I did was I used the rectangle tool, and I made a selection around the frame that I wanted, right? And then wrote in text just saying, generate this frame in full 16:9 aspect ratio, crisp, high quality Pixar details. Okay. Then with this, we can reduce that down and just put that, around here. And then you can hit generate image. So here is our result. We actually were able to adjust this and regenerate this exact scene that we had selected from the storyboard feature. Now, this was an interesting way that we could pre-visualize all of these different shots under one image, right? Meaning we don't have to go and generate loads of different camera angles, etc. It will actually generate it all for us under one photo. All we have to do is kind of just point at the frame that we like and go, yep, now generate that in full for me. Boom, we've now got that frame. And now from this frame, we could go in and we could edit anything we want. We could generate multiple camera angles. We can literally go in endless kind of directions with this. So I decided to try and take this another step further with a photorealistic storyboard for an advert for the new iPhone. And I was able to generate, all of these different product shots in different kind of, sketch styles, photorealistic styles, which is just interesting to play around with. But overall, I feel like these were probably the better outputs of the bunch. But what's really interesting is just the ability for Nano Banana Pro to adapt to any style that you give it. If you have a visual reference of any kind of image style and you wanted to create a photo in that style, it is easy. It is so simple. So for example, if I wanted to generate an image of me in the Formula One stood next to celebrities, it's as easy as uploading a reference image of my face, which you can see here, and writing in a basic prompt of get an image of this man on the Formula One podium wearing a beige Vans hat next to Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. You can literally name whoever you like, and you can generate images of yourself next to whoever you want. Now, what's really interesting about these images is obviously the text again. You can see just how good the quality of the text is. There's literally no morphing whatsoever. And even like down the side here and right in here, even the sponsor for the tires on the hats is just absolutely flawless. If we take a look at here, the sponsors in the background, even though there's a somewhat shallow depth of field here and it's slightly out of focus, it's still done it flawlessly. This is me testing out if we were to upload a reference image of a camera, for example. So here was our reference image. We could turn it into more of a stylized product shot. We could generate multiple camera angles of this product in different scenes. And again, we could kind of point to one of these and be like, generate us a full screen image of it. I also tested out a couple of other examples, just generating some e-commerce style imagery to test and kind of strength test out this model. The main reason being is with the original Nano Banana model, what you would notice is the proportions would be completely off. So if you were to upload a reference image of the shoe would look way too big in comparison to the rest of the body. It's a lot more balanced in this new model. So if you were to upload a reference image of a specific product and you were to get someone to hold it, it has a much better understanding of the scene. So you can see here, look how high, the crisp and quality of all of these. And we generated some macro shots as well, just to test to see how it would do with handling some of the fabrics on here. And honestly, it's absolutely beautiful. So honestly, there's going to be a lot of opportunity here. And I'm actually going to show you a couple of interesting use cases that you could do with this. So let's say you wanted to turn some of these images that you've created, whether they're graphic posters or whether or not they are, specific brand ads, for example. If I wanted to create an interesting shot here where I had a close-up of the Red Bull can and then I wanted it to pan back out to over her shoulder, well, we could easily do that with, with this new model. So I can upload this in here and I can say, generate a close-up image of the Red Bull can in a Pixar animation style in this environment. Now we can adjust this to be in 2K resolution. And if you click down here as well, you can adjust the aspect ratio to be in any aspect ratio that you desire. So we can pick the traditional 16:9. And now if I download this frame here, and I go up here and kind of wait until we get this new generation to come in. Amazing. So we've got a couple of different examples here. So let's say we downloaded this one right here. And first of all, if we just click on this, you can see the details of the text. I mean, we're down here, we've got a bit of random text coming in. But if we wanted to change that, we could also just prompt it. So we could find out what it says on the original Red Bull can and just ask it to change it as well, which is super handy. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one. There is so much to explore with this new AI image model, and we're going to be diving into it so much more inside of GenHQ. So if you're interested in learning more about creative AI, then you can click the second link in the description, which will take you over to GenHQ, which is our creative AI education platform. If you're interested in staying up to date with all of the best creative AI tools and workflows, then I'll see you over at GenHQ.